under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Buns,
Present?
Wyatt,
Here.
Lawson,
Here.
Sewell,
Here?
Reister,
Here.
Just a reminder, we have a meeting.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda. Before we get started, any questions? Anything want anything pulled?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on to committee reports and recommendations. Public Works Committee, Matt?
Yes, we had a meeting on Wednesday morning, March 10th at 7 a.m. All of the notes are in the packet, one of the longer minutes that we've had because it was kind of a longer meeting. We had 3 sealed bids for garbage and recycling services that came from Blackhawk Waste, Wright Environmental, and Republic Services, and that's going to be an item that's on the agenda. We have to choose which one of those we're going to go with. We had some back and forth discussion. Obviously, in the meeting, had representatives from each of those organizations, and then had some conversation on email after that. So Chrissy and or Jeff will bring everybody up to speed when we get to that point in the agenda. Also, Jake gave an update on the Public Works building, and we're gonna need to do something there, whether it's rent or build. They're working on streets, fixing them up, overlaying them, or rebuilding intersection bids, and so we'll learn more about that next month. We need to do some maintenance work on the water tower. That's also on the agenda. And we talked about a 2080 agreement with the city of Evansdale. We adjourned at 7:56. We earned our keep that day, 56-minute meeting.
Any questions for Matt?
I will probably have questions once we get to the items on the agenda.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move into general government, item A, discussion action to approve resolution 2753, a resolution for approval to offer employment and set wage for police officer position for the city of Hudson, Iowa, and this is part-time, and this is to appoint Jesse Paul.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, roll call?
Lawson,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, item B, discussion action to approve resolution 2754, a resolution for approval of sanitation for proposal for the city of Hudson, Iowa. And this is then to contract with Blackhawk Waste. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second?
Okay, discussion?
Yep, I have some questions.
Okay.
So, Chrissy, I'm assuming they're gonna throw this to you to kind of give a little bit of background between where the bids landed on
Or
this.
Jeff can. Jeff's got the printout.
Jeff, yep.
All right, so we should probably go into a little bit of this, first of all. Why are you recommending Blackhawk, I guess, is my question,
Cost.
because the cost wasn't a whole heck of a lot different, right?
So the recommendation that we're going with is trash once a week, 64-gallon container, recycling every other week, 96-gallon container, yard waste pickup, curbside every other week, and the increase would be less than $1 a
It was
month.
like 75 cents I thought I
Yeah.
saw. And this is with their containers, not ours.
Their containers.
But I also saw that we can leave it as it is with not using their containers, keeping with the 3 bags, and going with for less than what this update is.
75 cents less. Yes.
So why would we do that?
containers, just to make it more visual than garbage sacks sitting around.
It helps us too.
Why does it help you?
Snow plowing, do you know how many bags of garbage we weigh?
But won't you get a canister just as easily?
A canister's a lot easier to see than a white bag on snow. It does make it difficult, there's no lie about that.
My concern is, I have a real concern about the every other week recycling. And then the every other week yard waste pickup. Coming from a person that you have to sit there and wait and figure out which week it is. And then 2 weeks worth of recycling. Now, does this also continue to have the recycling center down here?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Have there been discussions about removing that? Because I know in the notes and everything else I've read about, that there are a lot of small towns that are going away with that. I know we've got one resident in town that takes it pretty seriously to pick up and guard the recycling center down there. And he keeps telling me about people coming in from other towns that are dropping stuff off that's not supposed to be left there. And getting their license plates and, warning them, and obviously that's not his place to have to do that. He's doing that on his own. But have we looked into that? Why, is there a reason that we're keeping that open if it's still continuing to be abused and we have to have somebody down there to do that? Because once he's gone, and that's a volunteer thing that he's doing there, I don't even know that we should be having
Is
it
he
too.
turning it into you, Jake, or to the police department?
He hasn't turned anything into me, he just tells me
is
when we
he-
need rock down there.
Well, and then he's got, somebody's down there spinning out and doing donuts in the rocks, and then it's all messing all that stuff up. So, I have some concerns of people that have brought to me with that. And again.
Hey, Kate?
Yes.
I got a question for you, and I'm not, this might sound like I'm trying to be smart, and I'm not.
Mhm.
Help me understand whether we have a recycling drop-off or not has to do with the decision at hand.
Cost? The cost was less if we don't have that? If the whole reason is cost that we're going with this proposal, why
Yeah.
are we not looking at that as a cost-saving measure as well?
Does the
Okay.
recycling center do they take some things that wouldn't be taken in curbside? I know like with Cedar Falls, they do, and
No.
so I would assume that might be the case.
No, we
Bigger
don't.
stuff.
No, we don't. They don't take that down there.
Well,
It's glass, plastic, cardboard is all that's down there.
well, but what I'm saying is you would take bigger items of those, like if I had a huge cardboard box, I wouldn't cut it up and fold it up and put it in my 96-gallon container and wait till the every other week pickup. I just take it off, or take it down there, you know what I mean?
Right, that.
Potentially, right. But right now, technically, I've had a big container, or a big box, since we don't have their containers, I just set it out next to my stuff and it gets picked up. Know what I mean? So if we're increasing cost and going with lesser coverage, to me, that seems like something that we need to look into a little bit further here in different options. Yeah, I
Less
know.
coverage, Kate, less coverage meaning what? Help me understand again, I don't understand.
Every other week recycling, right now we have every week recycling and we're going to every other. And we have every week yard waste from April till whatever it is, and that would be going every other now too. So you're raising the cost and going every other instead of every week.
So,
How big is your container for recycling?
yeah,
You can have whatever container you want to right now because you don't have one set.
At one time, we did provide them, but we ran out of them.
okay.
So you can
That
use whatever
explains it.
container you want to right now, which mine is I think mine's a 64, I bought it at Menards myself. Or you can just set it out, it doesn't even have to be in a container and they'll pick it up.
Okay, that helps.
I mean, again, I'm not against having their containers, but I just think we're increasing the cost, we're decreasing the service, and not fixing any of the other issues that we've got with the
So-
other thing down there.
So I would say, in a sense, we're increasing the service, in the sense that right now it's 3 garbage bags. And
Right.
it will be a 64-gallon garbage can,
Yes.
which holds more than 3 bags.
Depending on what bags you're using. But there will be no
Well, I'm
overflow,
just saying,
there'll be no overflow either, so you can't go buy stickers to have any extra.
Correct.
Right,
So if you've got more than 64, so you have a party and you've got more garbage, you've gotta hold on to it for 2 weeks until somebody else will come back and get it too.
okay,
And the other thing too is with yard waste, the other proposals were for a drop site. They weren't doing,
No curbside,
And this would be every other week curbside?
every
Yeah.
other week curbside.
curbside.
all year long.
No, it'd be just the April through November again.
April.
Right, but right now, we've
Okay.
got that, right now, for the cost that we've got now, or that we could go to for this, you know, that we could stick with, you've got every week,
Chrissy, did
Pick up.
Blackhawk offer our current package?
it was on there.
It'll be,
Was this is what we're paying, or this was their
no,
recommendation?
yeah, this is what we currently have.
Okay,
Let's see.
I think it was like a 30-cent increase, it was like 13.05 to.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
This is what we currently have right now.
right, is this their bid for that?
Sorry.
Cause I don't know if we had a current bid,
I saw one in there that it said to stick.
Yeah, okay, so this is currently, so this would be the current bid, so no cart, recycling
Okay.
and, garbage would be picked up once a week. Yard waste, it basically is the exact same as what we have.
okay.
And-
I just wanted to
And
confirm
how
that
much-
before we got too excited about stuff.
Right, well, that, yeah, cause that's
And
what
I
I
put the
saw in
wrong
there.
price on, so this would be 13.05, so it would go up 10 cents.
So
would
that
go up
is
to, it would
going
go
up.
up 10 cents, right?
Yeah, 10 cents a month.
Okay.
Instead of the 75 cents or whatever it
Right,
is.
right.
I mean, 75 cents is 75 cents. It's not like we're, you know, over 12 months, you're still only looking at $5 or whatever it
Right.
is.
Right.
So
But,
clarify something for me that I wasn't sure whether I understood correctly or not. We don't currently have any curbside for yard waste?
We do,
We do,
between April and November, every week.
Okay.
And the proposal then is to go the April through November, but every other week.
for more money. But they're,
But
still, okay, now, I guess I was confused on that too. For yard waste every other week, do you put that in the recycling container?
No,
no,
it'd be just like it is right now.
your
right.
size.
So it'd be just bags or whatever you put out.
Correct.
Would it be the opposite week as recycling?
I would assume,
I think so.
yes.
I don't know, that
Jake's saying yes,
I think so.
I would assume it would be.
yeah.
I just think we need to look into this further because I don't like to just jump
So,
to that.
Kate,
Or
what would
is
you
there an
like us
option?
to look into?
I
Tell me.
would like to get public input as far as what people want, as far as as this change. I mean, cause I
When's our
don't,
current contract right now?
Our current contract runs out June 30th.
I think the public input that people can have can come through our committee. And this has been, I mean, it's gone through the process that it needs to go through, and if people wanted public input, they should have given it, and they didn't, and so I say we move forward.
where did they get the asking for the public input though? We don't publish the agendas for those.
Yes, we do.
Did
Yeah,
we
we do.
publish that in the
Yeah,
paper?
they're public.
We don't publish any agenda in the paper.
But they can go on the website.
I just think that, I don't wanna make this decision for the others because I don't personally want this change for
Okay.
my own.
Do we have,
But that's what I got.
okay. Any more input? Otherwise, we have a motion and a second.
I have some,
I would,
I was
I
gonna
would
say,
just say that I think there's a significant value to put on having garbage in their containers and not strewn all over the place in bags so raccoons and possums can get into them. Up here in the northern tier, there's been some unregularity with which garbage is picked up, and so at one point they were coming early in the morning, so you gotta put your garbage out the night before. And if you don't have a container and you're putting bags out, I've heard the same thing from downtown. I mean, it's just asking for a mess. I didn't even think of the snowplow thing that Jake brought up until he mentioned it at our meeting, but I think it's net positive. And I think it's something that, I mean, people can adjust to, and 75 cents, I think, is a small price to pay for a cleaner community and just I'd say easier service.
The other part of that, Matt, though, too, is if you've got their container, so it's your job to maintain their container, so you gotta, clean it up. So in a year or two, are we even better off than we were before? Is there an option to get additional stickers available for additional bags?
Not at this time.
No,
Did we ask that question about?
yeah, that was
waste?
part of the bid.
Okay.
I'll just tell you how I handle that up here, is I know people nearby who don't produce much garbage, and I ask permission to put my garbage in their pile or in their can. I mean, just neighbors helping each other out.
I just still
We've
think,
done that as well.
yeah, I just still think that we're going the opposite direction. I think we're getting half the pickup service for more money.
Did you want?
Well, I was gonna say that the bids that were turned in weren't apples to apples, so Blackhawks was for weekly garbage and every other week recycling. Our option that was comparable, we didn't offer an every other week recycling, but had that been something that was a part of the bid, we could have offered every other week recycling and our cost would have been lower.
Which is what we went through the last time we had bids taken on this too, and we had
You
problems
didn't
with
offer any
us.
curbside or yard waste pickup though.
Right, well, we could if we put it in a cart. Our yard waste drop site was our lower cost option. And we saw that there weren't many people that were using it in our experience, driving through town. So that's why we offered a drop site instead of curbside collection.
See, we had this
When
problem.
did you look for yard waste since?
Well, I mean, I've lived in the area, my wife her mom owns a duplex in town, so, I mean, I used to drive from Hudson to Waterloo every day for work, so.
All right,
We had this problem last time we took bids on this too, and we had to rebid it because it wasn't the same apples to apples with everybody's, remember?
I think it was the time before. There was one time, yes. So,
Yeah, I just
Okay.
don't know that we have all the info.
all right, roll call?
Lawson,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Wyatt,
No.
Buns.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0, or 4-1, sorry, 4-1.
Item D, item C, discussion action to approve resolution 2755, a resolution setting a public hearing to amend the Hudson City Code 2017, Chapter 106, Solid Waste Control, Section 106.08, amending the following language collection fees, and that is for the new fee then for the garbage pickup, for the waste pickup.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call?
Lawson, or I'm sorry, Sewell,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2756, a resolution for approval of water tower maintenance services for the city of Hudson, and this is to go with central tank coating for a bid of $144,400.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question on some of this. So this is inside and interior and exterior, only interior if it needs to be done.
Yes, so
Painting.
this is worst case scenario.
Right.
There is a chance we might get away with not having to do the interior this year.
The interior. The exterior is going to be repainted at this time.
Mhm.
Do we have options to change what it's painted with, or how it looks,
No.
You mean,
design?
Yes.
Why?
Chrissy mentioned that Voss sent something over once the updated design put on it. I was gonna reach out to the company and see how much extra it'd be for them to update the pirate design.
Because right now it was just to.
It was just to go over what was there, but I wouldn't think it'd be terribly much, but I'll get a cost on it.
Well, I'm wondering if Chamber wants to get involved with something with that too, or maybe, have a fun contest or something as far as design,
Would they be
that we could
willing
get
to
the,
Pay the excess?
potentially, depending on what it is. I mean, why not find out? Not that I don't think it looks bad, but,
I don't remember what he said on the pirate.
He was just gonna go over what was there existing, that was the cheapest
Right.
route, and I don't know, what kind of time frame are you looking at to do something like
that,
that?
again, without asking, without knowing any
Yeah.
of the differences in it, why, we don't have to leave it how it is, so. There's just an opportunity for something there.
Right.
So if we pass this, we could pass it with the understanding that we're gonna explore the idea of a different design with the understanding that that might cost us more, and then we would make that separate design decision at a later date. Can we do that?
We can do that, right?
Yeah, and you could add to it, couldn't you potentially just add a?
Yeah, we can just do
amendment to it or
another,
whatever?
yeah, we can just do another resolution that,
And that will I'll have to reach out to them, make sure they're willing to do that.
Right, I mean, cause if it's,
And
if
then
it's,
what their timeline is, when we need to get that decision to them.
Exactly.
right, if it's $500 to do it versus 5,000, that's a completely different discussion, obviously, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I just think it's 2021, we're trying to get an updated image. Let's see what our options are.
Who do we want, who's gonna contact the chamber then on that, once you hear?
I'm the chamber rep, back and forth between the two, so I
Okay.
can,
So Jake can let you know if that's a
Yeah.
possibility.
I know.
well, or whatever, yeah.
Boss said he would like to see the new logo put on, so we could give that to the chamber too, and they can.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to reach out and see what what options are
yeah.
out there for things like
yeah, and
that.
if we go too crazy, then it's just gonna be that much more expensive.
Right.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
if we update the logo, I don't see it being all that.
Maybe the school has some money to chip into that.
Well, that's what, I mean, we're
Maybe-
just looking at different options to see what's
Yep.
out there too,
And
so,
that could be something that we could talk about at chamber meeting too.
absolutely.
Yeah, but worst case scenario is the amount that,
Right.
you're approving.
If everything's crappy, it needs to be fixed.
If everything needs, all the metal work will need done in the exterior. The interior, what was that, 49,000 or something like that? That's up in the air yet,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, and
More
I
than-
saw that difference.
More than likely, that's coming
Yeah,
year 2 or year 3.
Right, it's gonna
So
come
it's-
eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to hit it.
But they said there's a good chance when they have to drain it to do the exterior. They said that they'll inspect it when they're there, but there's a good chance the interior might have to be done. Depends on how the seams look, so.
Yeah.
And when they drain it, we kick onto Waterloo Water direct, correct?
Yeah, actually, our tower kind of floats the whole time, so we're fed off the tower and Waterloo.
Okay.
It's kind of-
So there's no interruption though to service
No,
in
no,
town for
there
it,
shouldn't be.
nobody will notice any difference.
Nope.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. We'll go to roll call then?
Reister,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
motion carries 5-0.
Okay, item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2757, a resolution of the Hudson City Code, City Council to set public hearing on proposed action vacating parcel of land abutting to 214 Celeste in the city of Hudson, county of Black Hawk, state of Iowa. And this is then to put on public hearing at the next meeting on April 12th. And, of course, there'll be more info with that too, at the next
So
council
moved.
packet.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
motion carries 5-0.
Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2758, a resolution of the City Council of Hudson, Iowa, to request the assistance of the staff of the Iowa Northland Regional Council of Governments. And this is to do a urban revitalization study not to exceed $7,500.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Roll call?
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
carries 5-0,
Okay.
5 to 6.
I guess.
There are 4 information items in the packet. Reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings held at council chambers except for electric board and library board. Public Safety Committee meeting, March 25th at 4 p.m. Public Works Committee meeting, April 14th at 7 a.m. Mayor's Task Force Committee meeting, April 20th at 5 p.m. Personnel Admin Finance Committee meeting, April 26th at 4:45. Upcoming next council meetings, April 12th at 6 p.m. and April 26th at 6 p.m.
Matt?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Second.
Aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody, see you later.